Good evening. Welcome to another evening of Dr. Cliff Burton, featuring the absolute very best in all of women's sports, HBCU athletics, and so much more. We cover all five HBCU sports and all five HBCU conferences, the SWAC, the SIAC, the Chattanooga, and HBCU, and so much more. 10 seconds of silence. All righty, we'll bring our guests in one by one. But tonight, Jeff, we're going to start off with you. We've got so much to talk about. First of all, welcome to the show, John.
How you doing, Cliff?
University. Here we go. Jeff?
How you doing, Cliff?
I'm good, I think.
All right. Good evening, folks. Yeah, we got a lot on the plate tonight. Brown University over in Providence, Rhode Island. Incident this weekend, this past Saturday. A massive shooting. It's another terrible situation. So this happened during exams, Cliff. A lone shooter walked into, the hall. It was filled with about 60 students the professor was teaching, and pulled out a handgun and opened fire, and he fired a number of shots, about 40, over 40 is what the report I had. Multiple people, I think it was 11 persons were killed. Sorry, two persons were killed, and I think it was 9 to 11, something like that, injured. I think 9 might have been that number, and then he fled. Initially, they found on video camera, a suspect, a person of interest, and they captured that person, but they let this person go after evaluation and investigation. They said they didn't have enough to hold this particular individual. There wasn't enough on camera, or they didn't have enough evidence, so they let this person go. Then there's another report that there is another person of interest that was seen walking in the neighborhood, black attire, had a mask on his face. And so this person is still at large, and they're still looking. So this is an ongoing investigation, Clip, and we pray that no other persons are injured, because this was gruesome.
Second week in a row, Jeff, this week, past weekend, Brown University, Ash weekend, Kentucky State University doing their finals. Here we go again. I hope they find this person soon. I know the students are still on edge, and the whole campus is on edge. Also, I know they canceled the upcoming football game, and as they should. Jeff will continue to stay on top of that. Then there's another mass shooting over across the water, our brothers and sisters in Australia, down under. Sydney seems to be a hate crime. Give us some update on that, Jeff, on the beach down there, celebrating Hanukkah, the Jews. What happened?
Yes, Cliff. This was at the famous Bondi Beach in Sydney, as you mentioned. And they said this was directed at the Jewish community. It happened on the first day of Hanukkah. Huge celebration for 1,000 people on the beach. And this was it was daylight time. 2 individuals, father and son tandem, long guns, walked out and just opened fire, and people were just running for their lives. Yeah, this one, I believe a number of people were injured, about 29, I think, and I think it was referenced about 11 people got killed on this one. It was bad, man. I tell you, it was bad. I was looking at some of the reports and some of the video clips, but one video clip stood out. There was a lone man who was a hero for that day. He actually ran up on one of the perpetrators from behind, grabbed him, and was able to wrestle the shotgun out of his hand, keep that person at bay. And so that was just tremendous for someone to put themselves in harm's way. I'm sure he saved a lot of people's lives or injury with that one act, Cliff. So they're calling him a hero, and I agree 100%. Yeah. One person was killed. I believe the father was killed, and the son was critically injured, doing a firefight with the police once they arrived. So they also went and found I believe it was the son's vehicle, they found explosives, some type of explosive device. I believe it was a pipe bomb of some sort. They were able to discharge that without anyone getting hurt, Cliff. Thank God. It could have been much worse, and it was bad. Bad. But they said this was ISIS-led as well, ISIS-inspired as well, Cliff. Bad, man. We're praying for all these people that are going through this hurt and harm during this time.
Yes, we are. Jeffrey. Oh, boy. There's one story that I want to mention, and I'm going to bring our co-host in on this story. First, we want to pay homage to Mr. Carl Carlton, 72-year-old singer, R&B, who passed Everybody remembers the song "She's a Bad Mama Jamma." I
Yes,
believe
sir.
he
Yes,
did.
sir.
And he passed recently. And I don't know. I'm going to ask Jim if he remembers that song. Jim, do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I was listening to the radio and I found out that he had passed because they were doing a song in memory of him.
Yeah. Yeah. So, we're losing a lot of the great ones from that R&B from the 60s and 70s, but we want to pay homage to him. Yes, sir. Yes, 73 years young. 70, yeah. And then there's a football player. Jeff, we're going to get back to some more news. Steve Taneyhill. He was a quarterback for the South Carolina Gamecocks. He died at age 52. What do you think about that, Jim?
Much too young. Much too young at 52.
Yeah, we're just losing what's there. We'll continue to pray for that family. And then there's a young man. I'm going to bring Steve in. So thank you, Jim. Stay open there. Steve, I want to bring you in. There was a young man, I believe his name was Suggs. I hope I get that right. He played for West Virginia State University. And they found him last night in his dorm. They haven't given a reason. They don't suspect foul play with this young man, African-American young man. His coach struck Harlem. I don't know if you've heard of this story yet, Steve, but he played for West Virginia State University, and they found him dead in the dorm last night. Have you heard of that, Steve? And give us your thoughts, if you have or haven't.
No, I haven't heard that. And it's just sad. A young man just lose his life. I just lost one of my basketball players who had just turned 40. And same thing, found him in his room. And, you just hate to see it when young folks go like that. Like I said, we don't know what the causes were, but just gone too soon.
Yeah, your parents are home and you're taking photos, whether it's the tragic dying or shooting. You're expecting that kid home in 2 or 3 days now for Christmas, and you're getting these kind of calls. We all have kids on this line, and so we can understand that. Dr. we're going to bring you on in a few weeks. We got to talk about it. In a few weeks, the Affordable Care Act subsidies. The government just had their final vote. Congress couldn't come to anything. And 24 million approximately Americans will lose their subsidies to their health insurance. And health insurance are expected to go up between 2 to 400%. Let's say, they won't be affordable. Just give us your thoughts, Dr. Kemp, and with prayer, what can be, you think can be done with getting the healthcare field or not? This tension is rising. It expires, the subsidies, on the 31st of this month. Dr. Kemp?
Good evening, everyone. I think it's a shame that our legislature team is actually thinking about this and going to go ahead and end the affordable, or try to end the Affordable Care Act. And I think they don't think about it because they have a lifelong health care for themselves that we're paying for. So to them, it doesn't matter, or it seems like it doesn't matter if their constituents do not have health care in which they cannot afford. I don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully, it won't go through, but something has definitely have to be done, especially with these midterm elections coming. We have to get some people hopefully in office that will actually do something about this, because it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Jeff, you went to college back in Oakwood in the 80s with a group of guys. Many of them personally, I've met them. Singing group, always remember them. Tick-Ticks. They had a song out. They were the acapella group, can really sing. I think we all know them. But they had a song out that comes to my mind often that says, if we ever needed the Lord before, we sure do need him now. And that song always comes to my mind from Tick-Ticks, because this we're going through and continue through, but we don't want to bring us through some turbulent times. Jim, about 4 minutes, we got to talk about this story. Jim, being from the state of Michigan, what is going on with Michigan football coaching? 4 years ago, Michigan State football coach, Jim, take us there.
Well, Michigan's ex-football coach, Jerome Moore, was found to have an impermissible relationship with a subordinate, which is against his contract. So they investigated it, couldn't find anything. Evidently, the girl broke up with him on Monday. Went to the higher-ups on Monday. and told all these things, and he was fired on Wednesday. Now on Wednesday, Cliff, you can help me out with this. They supposedly said that he had some mental health issues, and I truthfully believe that they were not playing with him, but they had this over his head. If you don't beat Ohio State, we're gonna fire you. We're gonna come out with it. And they said a lot of the stuff came out, and this is, you don't take my word. Rich Eisen on ESPN, Adam Schefter said the same thing. They're U of M grads. They said their phone was blowing up about this stuff after the loss to Ohio State. Now, they said they didn't have any HR when they fired him, and there were no counselors or even policemen in there. So after he was fired, he went over to the girl's house, and he said he was going to kill himself, and my blood is going to be on your hands. They got him out of there. Well, he left. They found him at a church and put him in jail. And I believe he had 3 charges: unlawful entering. Yeah. He can't really say he threatened her, because he didn't. He threatened himself.
Right.
But there were some other charges. And, it's a sad story all around, because some of the people of Michigan, the powers that be, I don't think truly ever liked him.
Yeah. And I know our time was short in the segment. We're going to keep on the story. Did something similar because of this policy? Because the young lady is still working there. Because he's the person of superiority, so that rule applies to him. I understand the young lady who he had this extra affair with, she's still an employee there. But did this similar thing happen with the coach, African American coaches here? Let's just talk about it. At Michigan State, who was paid a lot of money 4 years ago or 3 years ago, and he lost his job and lost $95 million in the process.
I said, "Oh Lord!" Mel Tucker was at Michigan State. He was having, I don't know what he was having, but he was calling this rape survivor that spoke to his team, and I'm trying to clean it up.
Okay, clean it up.
He was basically calling her and playing with himself, and she turned him over, and they're trying to fire him with cause, so they don't have to pay him all that money. What happened with him? Mel Tucker, I believe, was planning on turning Michigan State around and leaving to go to a better job. But he went 10-2 and beat Michigan. So they offered him a big-time contract. He took it. And then 2 years later, I believe these things happened.
Welcome back. Dr. Clifford and Friends, featuring the absolute very best in all the women's sports, HBCU athletics, and so much more. Dr. Kemper, what's your opinion on this as well? These 2 coaches who were fired, the rules were very clear about these kind of affairs 4 years ago, and here's another coach. Just give us your thoughts on that. Dr. Kemp and Jeff will come to you next.
My brothers, what are you doing? You are in a powerful position to make a change, and you just blow it every time. I feel sorry for the coaches, the students, the families, definitely the wives and the children, the parents of those coaches, because you have pretty much everything at your fingertips to make a change, and they seem to lose focus all the time, and it's awful. It's awful.
Yeah, so I believe, in a nutshell, he was at fault initially. He should have never gotten involved with that assistant. That's the first thing. So we're not going to hold him. We're not going to hold him, to him in a place where he's not responsible. But I think there's an underlying thing here. Number one, I don't think they ever wanted him after Harborough left, period. Plus, he was not a great coach. He was not a great coach according to their standards. Then you have the situation where, wow, we have a situation. We got a young lady in a place all day with a coach. Something could happen, and something could happen to their favor where it would put him in harm's way of not doing the right thing. And then they don't have to pay out his contract, which was about $14 million left on that. That's a good way to get rid of him. I think that was good, too. Now, once again, he was at wrong. He's got a wife and kids at home, and he's fooling around. But he got caught up in the sauce like a lot of men do, unfortunately. And I hate to play the race card, too. Now you're going up in court against a young white lady. That is going to be a problem for a man. And it's just a bad, bad situation all the way around. But one thing, I followed the case in the court last week. One thing that happened that blew my mind is the lawyer made a statement when he came to the house and broke in and, grabbed a knife, threatened her and his life. But her first thing when he left was not to call the police. She called the lawyer.
Come on.
That's going to come out in a few weeks when the case goes back to trial in January. She didn't call the police initially. She called the lawyer. Someone who was in imminent harm's way would immediately, in my humble opinion, call the police immediately. So a lot of craziness on this thing, but all this stuff is going to come out, Cliff.
Yeah. We're gonna get back to it in the next week or so. We gotta move on. Let's get on with our Coach of the Month, Woman of the Month, none other, legendary coach Becky Hammond. She had a tremendous high school career and also a tremendous college career. And now she coaches colleges. We know that, and of course, multi-time WNBA championship coach. We're going to give her a hand this week. We're going to be back on the 30th of North Carolina. We're going to talk about her. And then Gail Benson, the Pelicans coach. She is doing a tremendous job. She also coaches the New Orleans Saints, who won 2 football games in a row. But she's the first female to be an owner of 2 teams at the professional level. And just a tremendous woman. We want to go into her. We will. And make sure we give them their just due over this month before we are out of here in this Christmas season. So, hey, Gail Benson. Now, we do have some celebrity of the month. Steve, I want to come to you first. A tremendous football player. Should have been one of the top 2 or 3. What he was talent-wise. Steve Owens, born 12/7. What do you have for us?
Terrell Eldorado Owens, born December 7, 1973, is an American former professional football wide receiver who played 15 seasons in the National Football League, also known by his initials T.O. Owens ranks 3rd in NFL career receiving yards and receiving touchdowns. He is regarded as one of the greatest wide receivers of all time. He was born in Alexander City, Alabama. Went to Benjamin Russell High School. Then he went to UT Chattanooga, and he also was a basketball player. So he was pretty good at basketball from what I hear. I've never seen him play. But he has spent time, of course, with the 49ers, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Dallas Cowboys, the Buffalo Bills, the Cincinnati Bengals, and then Seattle Seahawks. And then he played in a couple of other leagues with the Allen Wranglers and Knights of Deegan. I don't know what that is. But he was a 5-time first-team All-Pro, 6-time Pro Bowl, 3 times NFL receiving and touchdowns leader, NFL 2000s All-Decade Team, San Francisco 49ers Hall of Fame. He had 1,078 career receptions for 15,934 yards and 153 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I remember he came on First Take with Stephen A. Smith, and I know people not going to believe me, but I said, I can't believe Stephen A's going to let him on because he's going to call him out. And he called him out. And Terrell was right. And, Max Kellerman, lost his job, but he wanted Max to get rid of Max anyway. But Terrell was, when he was inducted into the Hall of Fame, he didn't go to Canton. He had it done at UT Chattanooga. Yeah. I actually don't think anything was wrong with it. I'm kind of glad he did.
The top players of all time. We got to move on a little bit tonight time, but you're right, Steve. He's one of the greatest. To me, him and Randy Moss, if they had Jerry Rice discipline, hey, you know what I mean? Yeah. But we got to move a little bit. We're just going to do one more celebrity tonight, and we'll bring back Donna Summer in a couple of weeks. But Marlo, so proud of this guy for coming back from the stroke. He's a tremendous actor, singer. Jamie Foxx, that's just about a 1-minute version if you can. Dr. Kim, Jamie Foxx.
Sure. Jamie Foxx, he was actually, did you all know this? Eric Marlon Bishop is his given name. He was born December 13th, 1967. Of course, professionally known as Jamie Foxx. He's an American actor, comedian, singer, and film producer. He gained his career, took off as a featured player in the skit comedy show we all remember In Living Color from 1991 to 1994. Following his success, he was given his own sitcom, The Jamie Foxx Show, which he co-created, starred, and produced from 1990 to 2001. He received his acclaim for his portrayal of Ray Charles, in the film Ray in 2004, in which He won the Academy Award for Best Actor, and that same year he was also nominated for the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for his role in the crime film Collateral. He also gained prominent roles in many other films as well as television shows, and of course we all know he definitely can play that piano, and as well as his music career, he actually was born in Terrell, Texas, and he learned how to play the piano in his upbringing in one of the missionary Baptist churches there. His dad was a stockbroker sometimes, and what more can we say? We're actually, like you said, Dr. Berg, so happy that he's back after having that medical emergency when she had a stroke, and he went to one of the best rehab facilities in the Chicago area, Shirley Ryan, which definitely helped him come back to where he is now. So happy birthday, Mr. Jamie Foxx.
What do you think? He fits the definition.
Yes, he's won a Grammy and a Oscar. But here's a little known fact on him. He changed his name to Jamie Foxx because when he was doing stand-up at the comedy clubs, they would call women first. And a name like Jamie, they didn't know who he was, so they would call him first.
All righty. Sounds good. All righty. Thanks so much. Listen, let's give everybody their due in volleyball down to the Final Four. But here we go. Congratulations. It was Indiana Wesleyan who won the NAIA championship this year. They won their third straight volleyball championship in NAIA. Give it up, Indiana Wesleyan. Congratulations.
Yeah, on a roll.
NCAA, Wisconsin Oshkosh took home their first title in program history. Give it up for them. Took over from the previous three-time defending champion junior high Eagles. So congratulations, Wisconsin Oshkosh. But in Division II NCAA, Mexico State University of Denver, they called the Roadrunners. They also won the national title in volleyball in Division II. First time ever. Give it up. Now, we're down to the Division I, the big teams, and here we go. Number 1 seed Pitt is left. They're going to play number 3 Texas on the 18th. 2 nights from now, Sunday's the championship. In the other bracket, Wisconsin will be playing as well. They were number 3 seed in their bracket. They will be playing Kentucky. I believe they're the ones who knocked off Nebraska. But you have number 1 Kentucky versus Wisconsin, and they're going to be one of those two Sunday. Will be Pitt versus Pitt, Texas. So those two winners will play on. Am I right? Did they knock off Nebraska? Is that right, Wisconsin? Or no? Somebody knocked off number 1 seed Nebraska. But nevertheless, this is the Final Four. It's going to be highly viewed. We're down to it. And hey, let's give it up. We're down to the championship, y'all. I don't know if you're going to watch it, but let's see. I'll take a pick. I'm taking Pitt, number 1, to win it all. Who you have to win volleyball?
I really liked Texas, but Texas didn't make it. So I'm going to go with Wisconsin.
All right, the Badgers. Okay. Dr. Kemp, take one. Who do you have volleyball? Pitt versus Texas, Kentucky versus Wisconsin. Pitt versus Texas A&M, excuse me. Who do you have?
I'm going to go Texas A&M and Wisconsin.
In the finals, who do you have from there to win it all?
Texas A&M.
Jeff, who do you have?
I got to flip a coin on that. Hold up.
All right.
Wisconsin. I'll take Wisconsin.
Let's go Badgers. Steve, who do you have?
I'm going to go with Wisconsin to win it all.
All right, the Badgers. We have a couple of Badgers there. We'll see how it turns out Sunday. Hey, volleyball. Yeah. Before we go to break, I want to share this with our audience and with the team here. We have heard back from Coach Agnes Turner, and we're making that arrangement. Now, who's Coach Turner? She's going to come on our show. Track and field, as you know, Fayetteville State Broncos have won cross country 7 years in a row. Okay, and the men and women. Well, Coach Agnes Turner is a phenomenal coach. She's volleyball, but congratulations to all. Welcome back. Dr. Clifford and friends, feeding the absolute very best in all of women's sports, HBCU athletics, and so much more. You live with diabetes at risk and tired of being stuck in the cycle of attempts to achieve better health. If you said yes, Abundant Life LLC may be able to help you. One size doesn't fit all. We use an effective strategy that empowers you to reach your goals. Try something new, break the cycle. The website, abundant-life-LLC.com. That's for Shay Freeman at 615-212-TRIBE. Now, Dr. Kemp, we're into the season. If most may not have played conference games, so you can give the overall record. But let's talk about some basketball standings this week. Dr. Kemp, what do you have in the MEAC women's basketball for us.
Okay, so in the MEAC conference at this time, the overall record, Howard is 9-5. Like you said, they have not started the conference play just yet. Maryland Eastern Shore 6-7. Norfolk State is 5-8. Delaware State is 3-9. South Carolina State is 3-10. Penn State is 2-10. North Carolina Central is 1-9, and Morgan State rounding up the bottom with 1 win and 12 losses. And that
All
is
righty.
our women's basketball standing at this time.
All righty, great. Now, the SWAC, also they're calling everybody to come back from Christmas to be in the conference schedules. But the SWAC, what do you have for us, Dr. Kemp?
All right, we have for the SWAC, we have Southern is 4-5, Arkansas Pine Bluff is 3-5, Alabama State is 3-6. Alcorn State is 3-6. Texas Southern is also 3-6. Alabama A&M 3-7. Jackson State 2-7. Prairie View A&M 2-7 also. Bethune-Cookman 2-8. Grambling State's 2-9. Mississippi Valley State 1-8. And Florida A&M is 0 wins and 8 losses.
Well, the Ramblers are having it tough down there. All righty. And then we go to the HBCU. We have a Eastern and Western Division, I believe. Dr. Kemp, what do you have for us HBCU conference? Oakwood is doing well, ladies.
So in conference play for the HBCU AC women's basketball standings, we have Oakwood, like you said, 4-0. Stillman conference record is 3-1. Russ is 3-1. Talladega is 2-2. Fisk University is 1-3. Wilberforce in Ohio is 1-3, and Voorhees University is 0-4. That's in the East Division. In the West Division, we have Wiley College is Quinn is 4-0. Philander Smith is 3-1. Dillard is 2-3. Tougaloo, Mississippi is 1-3. Southern University at New Orleans is 1-4. The Virgin Islands is 0 wins, 0 losses. And Houston Tillotson is 0-4. And that is the West Division in the HBCU AC women's basketball standing.
Yeah, thanks so much. It looks like things are changing around a little bit in the HBCU women. The university coming up to the ranking.
That's good news. That's good news.
And so it's going to be a tight race. 15 teams now, Jim? This thing is really tightening up. We'll be in March Madness. Yeah, we want to keep up nationally, as we always like to do. So we just want to give a few of our national rankings, okay? So this is who our conferences are going to have to eventually match up with. Now, we often talk in Division I about the UConn Huskies, okay? But when you talk NAI basketball, you have to talk about Dordt out of Iowa. They're in the Final Four every year. Right now, they're number 1 in the country. Bethel out of Tennessee, 11-0. Number 2, Campbellsville out of Kentucky, 10-0. Number 3, Dakota, that's Dakota State, 7-1. Number 4, Marion, Indiana, 7-0. Number 5, St. Francis, 9-0 out of Indiana. Number 6, Pre-Harden out of Tennessee, 10-0. Number 7, Number 8, Brian comes out of Iowa at 9-1. Concordia out of Nebraska at 8-0. And Lewis Clark State out of Idaho. Okay? These teams make up your top 10 in the NAIA. Let's give it up for them. These are your national powers, y'all. This is who our NAIA schools have to measure up. That's why conferences have to become much, much stronger. I'm going to go into some more of those next in a few weeks. We're going to dissect our national scenes for Division II, Division I. Right now, in Division I, it's the same 5 that hadn't moved. It's the UConn Huskies. They're number 1. In that top 5, you have South Carolina State. They're right there. You have LSU right there, and a few more. And until Gino Auriemma, somebody begins to challenge them, like, hey, what's your thoughts on that, Jeff? Can we start to put a name on the trophy?
I know about that.
All right. It's early. It's early. Yeah, it's early. Injuries can always change the picture. Coach Auriemma said the other night that he had his coach with a cold, and he said, "Man, I was so bad coaching, I couldn't even holler at him." But Sarah Strong took care of business. They blew him out. Let's talk before we go to break. I want to give Jim plenty of time. There's so much going on. Women's USA basketball team is starting to form. These are the 2 ladies, once they get down to the 12, 14, that will eventually be our Olympic team. This past weekend, I believe, they met in Durham. They invited 18 players there to this event. And Angel Reese, Paige Beck, these are the newcomers now, were there along with us. Paraffin and Steve, I'll start with you, Jim. What do you think about this new USA basketball team. I know Coach Carl Carlton is going to do a great job, but there's just a lot of new players coming in. What do you think? Let me give it to you. The 10 of them that are trying out there: Lauren Beck, Cameron Big, Hayes Beckers, Veronica Burton, Sonia Citron, Caitlin Clark, Kiki Erickson, Lakia Jackson, and Angel Reeks. And of course, she's sitting there watching. They told her to come anyway. Juju Watkins, they want her. Even though they know she's not playing, they plan on her being in the plans by the time the Olympics rolls around. But I'll tell you, Jim, first your thoughts on the new players for this USA team that they're looking at.
They sound great, but I know they're going to pivot off of Brittany Griner and Diana Taurasi, two stalwarts that have been playing for years. But these new young ladies are going to keep America's streak alive.
Right. You figure, Asia Wilson's going to be back on there. Brianna Stewart's going to be back on there. Those two for sure. And so is, what's her?
Leticia Collier.
Yeah, those three are going to be back on there, and then they build it from there. But I'm excited. Yeah. What do you think about the new players adding in with this blend of old players that we have there?
I think it's going to be good, especially they got at least 2 years, and it's going to be really, really, 3 years, till the Olympics. But I think it's going to be really, really good because by that time, you say 3 years strong is a sophomore, so
they have her in mind.
A shot, and what's her teammate Ozzy, and a couple of other ones that they're gonna be in the mix as well. So I think it's gonna be good. It's gonna be the changing of the guards. You may not have too many of the older ones, but a lot of the newer ones are gonna be there. So it's gonna be exciting. Flaugier, who knows? So I'm excited to see who will make the team and what's gonna happen.
And I left somebody out this weekend who was there with Paige Becker, Caitlin Clark, and of course that is Angel Reeks. Was there. Carl also made sure she's in camp. So, hey, Steve, give us your thoughts. This future blended in. You think you're going to be in the FIBA Cup coming up somewhere in the year? The USA women, are they ready to defend the team? It was very tight this last time against France to win that gold medal. So they got to become ready in 28. What do you think, Steve?
Nobody's going to beat them. Nobody's going to beat them. Too much firepower, too much talent, too much skill. And I think Carl Carlton will do a great job with him. I think it's a good mix, like Marla was talking, the blend of the young and the older type and the older players. So I don't see anybody giving them too much trouble.
Yeah. Jeff and Steve, and with Jeff, correct me, I'm so proud. Carl Carlton would be the first African-American coach of the U.S. women's Olympic team. Is that right? In 28? Am I right, y'all? Yeah, should be one of Pat Summer's disciples, huh? It's great for Pat, but it'll be the first time an African American female will be coaching the USA women's team. Hey, yeah. And we're on hometown soil, California, right? So I am really, really pulling for this team of young ladies. I'm with you, Steve. I think they'll come home with the goal. Could be. Yeah. Could be. And so it's just a matter of putting it all together. Well, hey, we're going to keep cheering. Team USA, that's for sure. We're doing a great thing. Hey, if you're in the Tri-City area, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, the Stretch Boss, that's Tina Rivera, physical therapist, 71, or you can just email her, the stretchboss@yahoo.com. She'll take care of you. Whoa, take us away. We got a whole lot to talk about tonight.
Well. I was watching the Celebration Bowl, and it was what a game. The theme of the weekend, as you'll find out in the NFL, is getting out to a 21-point lead is not safe.
Yeah.
I thought that Prairie View was going to dominate after they went out to a 21-point lead. Yeah. But if you remember when I was talking about South Carolina State, I mentioned two quarterbacks. Yes. Their first quarterback got hurt, but the backup quarterback came in and had a heck of a game and was able to pull it out. But the Achilles heel for Prairie View was the kicker. The kicker missed a field goal in, I think, the second quarter. And after Prairie View had an interception in the second overtime, all he had to do was kick a field goal for the win, and he missed that.
Right.
But it was what a game. And Shennesbury.
4 overtimes, Jim?
4 overtimes. And in first overtime, you go for, you can go for a touchdown. I think both got touchdowns. Second overtime, you go for a touchdown, and you have to go for a 2-point conversion. And in the third overtime on, you go to 2-point conversion. And South Carolina State made their 2-point conversion in the fourth overtime, and Prairie View came up a yard short.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Jim, let me ask you this. First of all, congratulations, South Carolina State. Chennis Berry is coming up on the USIC and clearly one of the most dominant young coaches, at least coming up D1 in the country. But let me ask you on the other side of the ball. First of all, congratulations to Prairie View. And I want to go back to the SWAC because the SWAC had really dominated us like I thought the last few years. Let me ask you some things about some coaching changes. Those two coaches will stay. But going back to Jackson State, who Prairie View beat to get there, have we seen the last of TC at HBCU and think he's going to be gone?
I don't know. I haven't heard much about TC.
Mm-hmm.
I remember we talked about it last week. The coach, Gray, who led Albany State in D2, is leaving them after 3 seasons there. And he probably will be going to a 1AA or Division I place. And he's looking at Florida A&M, which is his alma mater, which just fired their coach. So, we'll keep an eye on that one. Also of note, Andrew Body, the quarterback for Alabama State, and he was quarterback of Texas Southern a couple years back. He's in the transfer portal again. He was the SWAC player of the year, and he's going to transfer. I would assume a Division I school for more money.
Yeah, here we go. All right.
Now, Hampton has hired a Big 12 assistant defensive coordinator that is going to take over Malone. He was the assistant coach at Kansas State, and they've hired Van Malone to be their new head coach. And he seems to be a defensive guru, and I think he's going to be a good fit there.
Yeah, Hampton had a tough year this year. So,
yeah.
Go Pirates. Go Pirates. Come on back.
They left the MEAC and went to the CAA. And they've been doing fair to middling there as in North Carolina A&T. Now, Deshaun Jackson has brought some interest by winning at Delaware State. Chennis Berry beat him out for Coach of the Year in the MEAC, but his name is under consideration for the vacant Sacramento State job.
How much, Jim? How much?
They don't say. He's one of the candidates. So,
2-year commitment to an HBCU. You know what I'm saying?
Right, that's what I said. How much are they asking? How much are they offering?
And to be honest with you, Dr. Kemp, I don't think he'll go this time, maybe next time.
Yeah, okay.
I think if the money is right, we'll see. Now, we also had our final Ultimate Division I HBCU football poll, which, of course, South Carolina State was number 1, Prairie View number 2, Jackson, who lost to Prairie View, Jackson State number 3, Alabama State number 4, Delaware, Deshaun Jackson School number 5, North Carolina Central number 6, Grambling 7, Texas Southern 8, Bethune-Cookman 9, and Howard 10.
All right now. All right.
Now, in I believe it's the 1AA or FCS Football Cup Series, Montana State is playing Illinois State this weekend for that title. Usually somebody from the Big Sky, the Montana State, North Carolina, North Dakota, South Dakota wins that. And they're going to be up against Illinois State, which is going to probably be, it's going to be a good game. And for the first time in the 1AA, as they were formerly known, the Ivy League participated, and Yale won a game but lost to Montana State in the second round.
The Bulldogs, the Yale, is that their name, Jim? Yeah.
Yes. Now, D2 has last year's champion Ferris State playing Kutztown State in the championship game. So, Ferris State is in Michigan, so go Bulldogs.
I think the first thing go get them. Right.
Now, in Division III, we have John Carroll against Wheaton for the champion. No, I'm sorry. John Carroll versus University of Wisconsin River Falls.
I'm going to Wisconsin. Wisconsin, little teams out of there. What do you think, Jeff?
Now we will go to the NFL, where we had a good weekend, I believe. And I told you a 21-point lead isn't safe. Buffalo was down 21 points and came back and beat New England.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Give it up. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. He has well, now he's in my own call, but for sure. But good call.
Well, Josh Allen, basically, with no Lamar right now, Patrick Mahomes, no Patrick this year, and no Joe Burrow, he's got a nice, clear shot to the final. But we'll see. Buffalo always can snatch defeat out of the jaws of victories. We won't say anything just yet. Last Thursday, Atlanta defeated Tampa Bay. And that NFC South division is in flux because I believe Carolina lost to New Orleans. So they both are 7-7. And Tampa Bay and Carolina played 2 times in the last 3 weeks. Cleveland, which had been playing well, lost to Chicago Bears 31-3. Baltimore, Marlo, I was trying to run by that one fast. I'll admit that. And now Baltimore shut out Cincinnati, which put Burrow out of the playoffs. The Los Angeles Chargers defeated Kansas City 16-13. But more important in that game was the fact that Pat Mahomes tore his ACL and LCL, and he'll be out. They're talking now, and Cliff, you had to comment about this, about him being back for training camp. Mm-hmm. They say it's usually a 9-month injury. They had him back October 15th. But we will see.
With a whole lot of caution, Jim. That's a franchise guy. Part of his game is running. I would say if he's in camp, it'll be with a lot of caution. And maybe somewhere halfway during next season, he'll be back out there full force because he's such a franchise dude. You don't want to. Yeah. And just taking that risk with him, Jim, I have a question before you move on from Kansas City. They've been in that championship so many years in a row. Are we seeing the end now of this era that'll take 2 or 3 years before they can build their team back to getting back into the championships? Because they had a heck of a run.
Well, I'll say no, and I'll tell you why. If you remember New England's dominance, New England went 10 years without winning a championship. And then Tom Brady came back and won, I believe, 6 in his second iteration. So I'm not going to put them to pasture yet. They will get younger. The schedule will become easier. And I think they'll be back for domination in a little bit.
All right. Fair enough. All right.
Now, the aforementioned Buffalo Bills defeated New England 35-31.
It was the snow.
Mm-hmm. They're both of them a snowy team, so they had a snowy good time. Washington defeated the New York Giants. Yeah. And interestingly enough, your Giants are in last place and up for the first pick of the draft. They're talking about going after Heisman Trophy winner Fernando Mendoza.
Please don't do it.
They probably won't even get that right.
Yeah, well, I think what they should do, and I hope they do, is sell the pick to the highest bidder. Hello, New York Jets, and see what they can get. Philadelphia defeated Las Vegas 31-0. Jacksonville defeated the Jets 48-20. Arizona was doubled up by Houston 40-20. As Houston is really looking like they have a chance to win the AFC. Green Bay lost to Denver, but more importantly, their big acquisition, Micah Parsons, tore his ACL and will be out. Detroit in a shootout lost to Los Angeles 41-34. Carolina lost to New Orleans 20-17. Tennessee was beaten by San Francisco 37-24. Indianapolis with, I'm going to call him Mr. 3000.
Yeah.
Grandfather of 2 and father of 11. They almost won that game. Seattle made like a 60-yard kick with a couple seconds left. Minnesota beat up on Dallas 34-26. And Pittsburgh...
What's Dallas' chances?
They done.
Slim and none, and Slim walked out the door.
Fair enough. Okay.
So Pittsburgh beat Miami 28-15 yesterday.
Wow.
Now, to look over briefly next week, we start out with on Thursday, probably the game of the year of two, I think 11-win teams. Los Angeles travels to Seattle. The Los Angeles Rams. We have since college is over, we have 2 games on Saturday. Philly at Washington, Green Bay at Chicago, which would be another barn burner. Buffalo goes to Cleveland. Los Angeles, I'm going to say Clippers. Chargers go to Dallas.
All right.
Steve, you missed your chance to see Pat Mahomes, and tickets are down to like $29.
I had those tickets sold too.
No, ain't no had. You still have them sold.
Yeah, not for what I was gonna sell them for.
Hey, handshake is a binding agreement. But anyway, Cincinnati plays at Miami. New York Jets go to New Orleans. Minnesota at New York. Tampa at Carolina. The battle of the 7-7 teams to see who wins the NFC South. Jacksonville goes to Denver. That's another game with 2 teams that won over 10 games.
Yeah.
Atlanta goes to Arizona. Pittsburgh comes to Detroit, 2-8-6 team. Las Vegas is at Houston. Hopefully they'll get warm. That's about all they're going to get. New England is at Baltimore. And on Monday night, San Francisco plays at Indianapolis.
Sounds good. Coming down to the nitty-gritty, Jim, and we're going to stay right on top of it. Thank you so much. Great job. One question. Is Philadelphia a championship team, or are they schizophrenic this year and not really going to defend too much?
They're schizophrenic, but they have, if you remember in 2023, they lost 5 of their last 6 and lost in the first round. They have kind of righted the ship and are looking to play. They're going to be in the mix for, I don't know if they can beat L.A. Well, no, they beat L.A. and they beat all team, but I don't know if they can do it twice.
Sounds good. Let's go to break. Steve, we're coming right back. Flag. All right. The Burning Friends, featuring the absolute very best in all women's sports, HBCU athletics, and so much more. Steve, basketball, what do you have for us?
Well, in the MEAC, they have not played any conference games yet. But with that being said, Howard is 8-5, Norfolk State 4-7, Delaware State 4-8, Maryland Eastern Shore 4-11, North Carolina Central 3-9, Morgan State 2-8, Coppin State 2-12, South Carolina State is 0-9. In the SWAC,
These are the men.
Yeah, this is the men.
Yep. Yeah. Here we go.
In the SWAC, also no conference games, but Alabama A&M is 6-4. Prairie View is 4-6. Southern is 4-6. Grambling is 3-6. Bethune-Cookman is 3-7. Alabama State is 3-7. Arkansas Pine Bluff is 2-10. Texas Southern is 1-7. Jackson State 1-9. Mississippi Valley 1-9. Alcorn State 1-9, and Florida A&M is 0-5.
Flat. Okay.
In the Eastern Division, they have played conference games. Stillman is 4-0. Talladega is 3-1. Voorhees is 2-2. Wilberforce is 2-2. Oakwood is 2-2. Rush College is 1-3. And our school, Fisk University, right now is 0-4. In the Western Division, we have Philander Smith at 4-0. Southern University out of New Orleans is 4-1. Then we have Tougaloo is 3-1. Is 4-3. Paul Quinn is 4-3. Hudson Tillotson is 0-4. Then we have Wiley out of Texas. They are 0-4, and that is it because the Virgin Islands has not played conference game yet. They are 0-0.
HBCU men. All right, Steve. All right. Thank you. Keep rolling.
All right. In Division I men's basketball, there has been a change. Michigan has overtaken Arizona for first place. So Michigan's in first. 10-0. Arizona second. Arizona went down to Alabama and blew them out at Alabama. Braden Berry's had a big game. Freshman third 33 points. Duke is 10-0. Iowa State 11-0. UConn is 10-1. BYU is 9-1. Purdue is 10-1. Gonzaga is 10-1. And Michigan State is 9-1. You have some schools like Duke is actually playing tonight. Playing actually Lipscomb and Marlowe. Tennessee State went down to Las Vegas and beat UNLV.
What?
Oh, wow.
Went down there and beat the running Rebels. Hey,
Awesome.
that's big. Those are two of the college jobs that I would have loved to coach at TSU and UNLV. And in the NBA, we have the championship going on right now between the San Antonio Spurs and the New York Knicks. And right now in the first quarter, San Antonio is up 15-12. This is Victor Wembanyama's second game back. He came back the other night, and I think he had 22 and 12, and he did all of that in 21 minutes.
He's bad. He is bad.
He is awesome. He's unstoppable. Next year, he'll be the best player in the world. Right now, he's in the top 5, 3 maybe, something. Stat-wise, Luka Doncic is 34.7 in scoring, first place. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 32.4. Tyrese Maxey, 31.5. Donovan Mitchell, 30.7. Nikola Jokic is 29.8 pounds. Jokic, 12.4. Karl-Anthony Towns, 11.9. Ivan Zubac is 11.5. Jalen Duren Jim is 11.0. And Hartstein with Oklahoma City is 10.6. Assists, the Joker, 10.8, number one. Jim, the motorcade, is 9.2. Luka is 8.8. Josh Giddey is 8.8. And Jalen Johnson out of Atlanta is 8.2. So right now you're looking at the championship right now for the cup. The winning team of the players split. They don't split. They get over $530,000 apiece, and the losers split over $200,000 apiece for the cup. So it's a battle right now, and coming down to it, you got some things going on. There's more coming out about the Chris Paul situation, and
what do you think happened?
Well, everybody, they know how Chris Paul is as far as a leader. He's going to do it a certain way. He's going to be tough. He's going to say what he wants to anybody. They said that he and Jeff Van Gundy spoken in a couple of days, and they said that CP went over and sat next to Van Gundy and said, "What's up, coach? You ain't said nothing to me 2 days, because Van Gundy took it the wrong way." And I'm like, why is Jeff Van Gundy there? Now Stan could coach.
Yeah.
Jeff can't coach. And it just reminds me of the time when Eddie Murphy was in the club and he was talking to a guy, and it came to mind. He said to himself, "Why am I sitting up here talking to Danny Terrio, from Dance Machine?" And that's probably what Chris Paul said. Why am I sitting on this bench talking to Jeff Van Gundy, who should be at home? He should be at home. But let me run down the NBA, the East standings. Detroit is in first place. New York is second. Toronto's in third. Toronto's having a good year, and Barrett has been out for 2 weeks. Boston's in fourth. Orlando fifth. Philadelphia is sixth. Cleveland 7. Atlanta 8. And for the play-in things, we're going to go 10 teams. Miami 9. Milwaukee 10. You can start trading as of today. You can make trades today. In the West, Oklahoma City is 24-2. In first place, Denver is 19-6. The Lakers 18-7. San Antonio 18-7. Houston is 16-7 in fifth place. Minnesota's in sixth place. Phoenix 7. Golden State 8. Memphis 9. Ja Morant came back the other day, had his first game, and now he's getting his second game under his belt. And Utah is in 10th place. Hey, it's going to be tight, because if you look at the top 12 right now, even though it's early, the top 12 in the West, all those have a a real good shot at making it. And almost the same with the top 12 in the East. And I don't know how Brooklyn is in 13th place ahead of Indiana and Washington, even though Washington is not good, but Brooklyn, they are a G League team.
Steve, let me ask you a couple of questions here. And I'll ask Jeff to come on in this as well. The Knicks, 18-7. I know we were really not high on Coach Brown, but is he going to be the answer for the Knicks this year, or is he living a lie?
Living a lie.
What do you say, Jeff?
Cliff, excuse my language, but I don't know why the hell you even asking me that.
I want to see if your mind man change a little bit, but I guess not. Let me jump to another one, Steve. No Jason Tatum. I think the Celtics are doing a tremendous job. Jaylen Brown, I think people are seeing how good he really is. And I think they're doing a great coaching job. Give us your thoughts on that. The Celtics are 15-11, and I thought with Tatum, they would be in that 11th or 12th spot. But give us your thoughts on the Boston Celtics and the job.
You know what? He is doing a great job. I always thought he was a good coach anyway. But he's doing a great job, and this is without giving Anthony Simons the time that I think he should have been getting. You know, Brown is averaging 29.8 a game, basically 30. And Peyton Pritchard and White and their role players like Quita are doing a good job. He's bringing some forwards off the bench like Walsh or Minot, or Mano, however he pronounces his name, and they just kept it going. I mean, you know, he's doing a good job, and they're probably having fun too because the expectations are probably low.
Yeah,
but
do you think?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Also in the East at 10. Do you think Giannis makes it through the year, or is it a trade going to happen? Or is it just talk?
I really think that there might be a trade because that this would be a wasted year if Giannis stays in Milwaukee. It'll be a wasted year, and they need to do something where they can get something for him. Yeah. You're not going to be able to match that because Giannis is probably the best player in the game. Giannis, you got the Joker and SGA and Luka and so it'll be a wasted year, I think, if Giannis stays. You're gonna play and then you hurt your knee again, and it's like, no, cut your losses, go somewhere where you can win a championship. You're in the prime of your career. Like I think you're the best in the game. You're dominant. Yeah.
How long has Giannis been in the league now?
Is it 11 years?
At least 10.
Okay, I said 10 or 11 years.
Already, wow.
Time has wings. I mean, it flies by, and he is too good. Go somewhere where you'll have a chance at winning a championship. And not that Milwaukee has not tried to bring in players, but you brought in Gary Trent, Al Kuzma. Come on. You're not going to go. You're not going to go anywhere with them, and not even as role players.
Steve, one more question, and this one is the West before we get out of here. Dallas is 10-7. Cooper's not my question. We know the question is: will AD be around enough for them to turn around, or will the continued residents of that bad deal getting into Luka and taking AD hurt them long term? Or will Dallas make the playoffs? Will they not? Let's hit 17, and they should be better than that.
Good question.
I really think that AD may be traded.
Okay.
He may be traded. If he's not traded, I actually think they will have a chance to make the playoffs. But how long is he going to be able to stay? Because, you could call out the starting lineups and he comes out there and he's tucking his shirt tail in and gets hurt. He got hurt.
Thank you, Steve. Jim, come on, Jim. Thank you, Steve.
Detroit Bullseye Sports is on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 7 to 9 on WGPR 107.5 HD radio, and the Sports Rap app and sportsrap.com.
But let everybody have a Merry Christmas on this line, and thank you so much, all of our listeners who engaged with us tonight, and those who are downloading. We love you. Continue to download.
Hey, breaking news: Terrence Crawford just retired from boxing.
Uh-oh. All righty. So until then, we'll see everybody next week. WGPR on the 20th.
God bless y'all. God bless everyone.
Happy holiday.